listeners, I have an Etsy shop with the name Sewing Panda Patterns where I sell digital sewing patterns. I'll leave the link in the description box, please do check. Once you purchase, you will get the files to your email ID and also you can find them Etsy ordered. You will get A0, letter, A4 files along with readme file. In that you will have all the information, printing, cutting and all. For this we need pattern pieces, 2 types of elastics and flat hem footer. Let's start sewing with ruffle shoulders. The curvy edge is a hem, so here I am going to finish the hem with a flat hem footer. Next I am going to make elastic casing. As you can see, there is a folding line in the pattern. So first fold it from the line and again fold it with 1/4 inch, then pin it and stitch it. Next I am going to insert 1.5 cm width elastic with a loop turner. Secure the elastic with pins, then stitch it. Repeat the same thing with other shoulder. With this step, shoulder straps are done. Next, coming to the bodies. Attach the front side panels to the center front panel by matching notches. Pin it and stitch it with 1 cm seam allowance. Repeat the same thing with the lining. Here I am using same fabric as lining. As you can see, I have pressed the seams open. Next I am going to attach the straps to the main fabric with right sides together by leaving 1 cm from the armhole and pin it. Now grab the lining and place it on the main fabric with right sides together, then stitch at the top with 1 cm seam allowance. Now I am going to give notches at corners and curvy areas. Next turn it right side and give an understitch on the lining. Now I'm going to attach the lining to the main fabric all over so that it doesn't move while stitching. So the front bodice is done. Next, coming to the back ties. Fold the fabric half in lengthwise and stitch it with 1 cm seam allowance as shown. Trim the corners, then turn it right side. Here I am using loop turner. Then give a good press and also repeat the same thing with the other one. Now take the back body's main fabric. Then attach the ties to the center back by leaving 1 cm at top, then pin it. Now I'm going to attach the lining to the main fabric with the right sides together and stitch the center with a 1 cm seam allowance. Now I'm going to give an understitch on the lining as I have already done with the front bodies. This is right side and this is wrong side. Next, attach the straps to the bodies with right sides together by leaving 1 cm from the armhole, then pin it. Now flip the lining and stitch all together at top with 1 cm seam allowance. Repeat the same thing with other side. Now give few notches, then turn it right side. Next, attach the main fabric and lining together so that it doesn't move while stitching. Next, repeat the same thing with the other one. Next, attach the back bodice to the front bodice with the right sides together and stitch it with 1.25 cm seam allowance. Then overlock the seam or trim with pinking scissors. Then give a good press. With this, the bodice is completely done. Now coming to the skirt, there are 2 notches in the pattern at the waist. From there, stitch 2 rows with large stitch length to make gathers. Next, make 3 marks as shown in the image, edge, center and sides. This will help you to distribute the gathers evenly while attaching it to the bodies. Now pull the thread and make gathers to match the bodies. Now stitch the center back with a 1 cm seam allowance, then overlock it or finish it with pinking scissors. Then press the seam open. Now attach the skirt to the bodies with the right sides together by matching center and sides, then stitch it with 1 cm seam allowance. Now fold the 1 cm seam allowance at wrong side to make a channel to insert the elastic and pin it, then stitch it as shown. Now I'm going to insert the 1/4 inch elastic with a loop turner, then secure it with pins and stitch it. Next, I'm going to attach the ruffles to the skirt. For that, cut the rectangle pieces from selvage to selvage as described in the pattern. It's clearly mentioned how many pieces need to cut for each size. Next, join all the rectangles with 1 cm seam allowance. Now stitch 2 rows with large stitch length to make gathers. Now fold the ruffle piece in half and make mark or notch. Again fold it and make mark. This will help you to distribute the gathers evenly. Do the same thing with the skirt. Now pull the thread and make gathers to match the skirt bottom width. Now stitch the ruffles open with 1 cm seam allowance, then overlock it. This is how it looks once it's finished. Now attach the ruffles to the skirt with 1 cm seam allowance by matching notches. Then overlock the seam. Now the final step, I'm going to finish the hem by using flat hem footer with a 3 mm. And make sure to remove the exposed threads with a seam ripper. Now the dress is completed. I hope you like the video and the pattern. Please share your feedback on my Etsy store. Thank you.